Welcome back to part 2. What we're going to do here is we are going to set up your first course. Now, for the purposes of this exercise, I've already have one set up. But what you would do if you're going to set up a course is you go to this drop-down menu entitled Courses. Find this little link, View All or Customize. You click on it and you would click Start a New Course. Enter the course name. Most of this will be, it'll be copyrighted, but they have non-commercial share, you have non-commercial. You have a bunch of different options depending on things. You have public domain, so if you're using particular things that are flat out in the public, then it might be this type. But in general, you will be using private, a copyrighted course, since many of you have your own materials that you have created over time. Let's just assume it's going to be a private. You make the course publicly visible. And again, student data will remain private. This is probably one of the most important things, is that if someone looking at it from the outside will not see the student grades. Important point to make, just in case a parent has any type of concern. So you go ahead and create course. Let's assume I've created the course already. And go to AP World History. Now I've already added some files, but let's go ahead and go to Setup Checklist. And just so you know, all these things in the checklist will be on the side here. But this way is so more aesthetically pleasing, and you could choose what you want to do. So let's import some content. Now this is the big thing to note. There are things that are copywritten, so if there's an online textbook that students use, but you don't have permission to use it, I would not upload it here. For this example, just to show you how to use a zip drive, I will be uploading it and taking it off, but this is how you would do import a lot of your content. Let's go ahead and unzip a zip file, which is the most common way you will be doing things. If you have a Moodle file or you have another file coming from another online service, you put it in which you would put in a QTI file. You would click on one of these options and go from there. For most of you, it'll be unzipping a zip file. Now this cannot exceed 250 megabytes. This is the most important thing. So don't try and put all your files onto here at one point. It may take several times to do. So if you have something that's a video that is 500 megabytes, you're not going to be able to upload it. And we're going to select a folder. And we'll create a new folder for this later. Let's do course files. And let's choose a file. We're going to go to chapter 1. And here's the textbook. Now I can do any one of these things. Graphic organizers, maps, anything. But you have to put something in a zip file first. And here's how you do this. So we're going to go to study guides. You would right click, and the right is on this side, just so you know. Right click, send to, and you make a compressed folder. This is what a zip file is. You would click on that. We already have one ready, which is the textbook. Double click and import. And while we're waiting to do this, this is going to be important for you because you will have all your files in here. You can choose to import parts of the book if the publishing company allows the uploading of material for educational purposes, or maybe a page or two at a time. You can do that as well on here. You just have to be careful on what you're uploading. And in the meantime, if you scroll over to here, you'll see assignments, discussions, grades, and this will be where your files are located. Also, if you want to add a syllabus, it's right here. Now, your syllabus is available on the College Board's website, or you may not even have a syllabus ready. You may want to put it right in here so the students will always have it, the parents will always have it, and that way you won't have to spend time printing out hard copies of the material. Also, while we're waiting for this to upload, you have quizzes we're going to create. You have conferences, collaborations, So you have every single option available to you. And this is taking a long time. So again, you go down to, there are no jobs in the queue, so this is just uploading. Once you get done, you're going to be able to go over to Files. And let's see if we can click on that. I'm going to open the link in a new tab just to see what's going on, because sometimes if you click on here, just in case you didn't know, if you click on here in the middle of a job, it might stop the job. So once you get your files in there, and this is a way to do this, click on here, again, right click, again, right is on this side, right click on Files, open link in a new tab, and you can work on two things at the same time. So right here, you can create a new folder. I already have one for lecture PowerPoints. And you can see what's going on here. I have chapter 21, and this is stuff that I can make accessible to students at any time. If you want to go back to, and you want to make subfolders, you can do the same thing. Let's go back to Files. And we're going to create a new folder called Textbook. Textbook chapters. This, of course, will be deleted because we're getting a new textbook, but for now we'll just make a new folder. And as soon as this is uploaded, and you can see it's still working over here because it's a larger file, as soon as this is uploaded, we're going to put it right into here. It'll be here, we'll drag it up, and we'll throw it in. And this tells you how many megabytes you've used. So you do have 261 megabytes. Just be very careful you're not uploading documents that exceed that amount. If you have videos that you're using in class, make sure you don't exceed that. In the meantime, okay, so let's go back to our class. So the class has been created. So let's go home. Here you go. And that is done. That's completed. So let's refresh. And here you go. So here's the textbook. Right here. That's Stearns Chapter 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. I'm going to drop it in there. And you have the textbook file right in there. So anytime you go to add another chapter, you'll just drop it into that folder. Okay, now that we've created that, we go back to the setup checklist, and we can add an assignment. So let's go ahead and add an assignment. The River Valley Civilization Quiz. We have that, but we want to add, and you have a drop-down list right here. And from here we can add an assignment. And you give it a name. Ancient Persia. And here you can enter what the assignment is, what they need to do. You can insert content, whether that's a wiki page through links. You can insert files. And so let's say I want to insert a chapter, Stearns Chapter 1. Read pages 6 through 25 and answer questions 1 through 5. Okay, we scroll down. And again, you can insert links, you can insert tables, You can insert pretty much what you want. And if you're a math person, they have an option for graphs. They have an option for different types of assignments. You can also, if you have the files uploaded, you can upload a new image, which you can get from your computer. Or you can have, if there's commons on Flickr. So I'm going to search Flickr for Persia. Okay. And I might want to upload that picture. Might invoke too much giggling. But now that you see the picture up front, it was probably not the best for a bunch of teenagers, but it might be an important statue that I want to upload there, and that's a common file that you can use without any repercussions. You go ahead, scroll down, assign points. Let's say that assignment is going to be worth 100 points. Assignment group. You want to name your group textbook comprehension. Questions, you're going to add a group. Display it in points. Complete or incomplete, a letter grade, GPA scale, whatever way you want to go. Let's just do complete. Submission type online. Let's make it a text entry. You can choose to make it a group assignment, which would give specific grades, so you can have them grade as a whole, as a part. If that way, sometimes if you have a group assignment that you're giving out that one person does and they have a part done in it, you can grade that kid separately, or you can choose to grade them on the group as a whole. You can require peer reviews, and you can assign to everybody. Make it due, let's say, the 23rd. And it's available from the 22nd from the 22nd to the 23rd. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead, and you can add certain things on there, but let's go save it. Now you can save, or you can save and publish. Let's go ahead and save it for now. We go back to our assignments page, and we see that before the River Valley Civilization quiz, I have Ancient Persia. They would click on this, and here's their assignment, which they would read Stearns Chapter 1. And that would download, and they would open up here. They would read the pages, do whatever, and then they would submit it electronically. And here's the book right here that popped up. You can do all your reading right there. Right, now that that's there, let's go back to the checklist. And we've had courses assignments. We can add students to the course, which is a simple thing to do. Again, add students, and you could have groups, you could have user groups, you would have different people that you upload, and that's using a CSV file from Excel, which is another thing that you'll learn how to do. Fairly easy. And once you have all those students in there, you can add them to the class, you can add them, you can make individual classes, you can do whatever you need to do